podcast. Ooh. What's up, everybody? We are streaming tonight. Well, today. It's not tonight. It's not the evening time. I'll tell you that right now, chat. It's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Hernandez. That's what I'm going to do here, chat. So I already made all of my picks, right, for the card. Let me pull up. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to pull up my notes here. Shank ya, shank ya, shank ya. I think if I pull this screen down, you can see my picks. Bam. Look at that. Bam. You can see my selections. Well, this just looks odd, but you can kind of see my selections here, chat. Those are my picks that I have. And for last card, I went 10-3 on the last card. Up. There we go. Move my little screen right there. Move my little screeny. Bam. Boom. So those are my picks right there. And this is the bam. Look at that. Look at me doing big boy things right here. Look at me fixing the stream. Look at me. Let me increase my thing right here. Here we go. Boom. So those are my picks on the screen. Who I think is going to win for the UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Hernandez. And let's just go over some fights that I really am going to enjoy watching. Going to really try to do my best to really watch these. I will not be streaming the first portion of this. I probably will be home for the later prelims, let's say like the Alden Correa and the Louis Gurul or the Ode Osborne and Chidi and Chukawani, right? I'm going to be out with some friends, so I won't be perfectly streaming the entire card, but I will keep myself updated with my picks and with my selections. So just some fights that I'm thinking about, fights that I think can be some good bangers. I think Punahele Soriano, I haven't seen him in a minute, but he's a really good fighter, right? He's strong. He has really good striking. And I think he can get this one done against a guy who's more so a grappler, right? I think this is going to be a fun fight. I think we're going to see a finish in this fight here. And then we also have Chidi and Jokawani. I think this is a classic Chidi and Jokawani get right session. I don't think Carlos Leal is anything of note, really. He's 5'11". He's more of a physical presence rather than a really good MMA fighter. So if I was picking and if I was putting a parlay together for our people, I would say you go Punahele, you go Chidi, right? And you maybe do some with that. They probably would be favorited. I'm not sure. Chidi's coming off a loss, but he's really good. He's really solid. So I definitely will pick Chidi in this matchup here. Zach Reese versus Michel Pereira is interesting. It's very interesting, right? Because Zach Reese, he's beaten some good guys, right? But has he really? You know, he's lost once, got KO'd. You know, he's fought some okay-ish comp. He lost to Cody Brundage. That's an awful loss. I'm not going to lie. Is Michel Pereira too much for Zach Reese? Right? That's kind of where I'm taking this. I don't know if he will be too much for Zach Reese. Right? Michel Pereira he's a tough customer to kind of predict. He's really tough. You don't really know what he's going to do before he does it. So you always kind of have to be on alert with Michel Pereira. And you always have to be wary of like what's going on and what's happening. At least when he is in the fight and fighting. So, and put my phone right hither. There we go. And so I think this is going to be a really interesting fight to watch, right? Who's going to take it, right? Is it going to be the Unk taking it, or is it going to be the younger guy in Zach Reese taking it? I've heard a lot about Jacob Smith. I've heard a lot about him. He's pretty good. He's beaten some guys, and he looks in great shape, and he has long arms for his size. And I don't know. I've heard a lot about him. He's 11-0. So I think that he probably will get this one done if I had to put some money on that. If I had to, but I'm not. Obviously, we have Ante Delija. He's fighting Sergey Spivak. Listen, you got to do it for your teammate, Tom Aspinall, because let's just face it, chat. Tom Aspinall's not going to be back for a very long time. So they got to have somebody out of that camp looking good. And he actually is kind of built like a good heavyweight, not just a blob like Sergey Spivak is. He's just a blob of mass and kind of looks uncoordinated. He actually looks semi-athletic. He almost beat Waldo Cortez Acosta. I know that it wasn't the best way to win because he did eye poke him, but he did catch him. Not with eye pokes, but he did catch him with a couple shots here and there. So he's obviously a good heavyweight, and I think Sergey Spivak is just not up to that competition, respectfully. These next three fights, Sean Strickland, first off, if I got to be honest, he looks in great shape. He looks lean. He looks really good. I still don't believe in Sean Strickland in this one. I'm just not going to do it. I think Sean Strickland is an interesting, case study into he talks so reckless, he talks so crazy, but yet, it just doesn't seem to kind of work out for him when it comes to the violence aspect of the octagon. He kind of seems like he talks a lot about all this craziness in his press conferences, and we could touch on some things in his press conference, but man, his fight style is boring as fuck. It's dull. It's super dull. It's not the best, right? He goes forward a lot, but he doesn't really throw the variation of strikes. And I just don't see him putting Fluffy on the back foot. I just don't see him landing anything that will be somewhat or remotely damaging to Fluffy. I just don't see it happening. That's just me. That's just my opinion. That's just my take. And also, we got a couple unks before that in the co-main and the featured bout. We have Jeff Neal taking on Uros Medic. I think this is where Uros Medic meets his match because Jeff Neal's still a fucking tough customer, dude. He's a super tough fighter. He only loses to some of the top guys in the division, right? Neil Magny. I'm kidding. But he only wins. He doesn't lose to guys like Uros Medic, right? And I get it, Uros Medic is the hottest shit since sliced bread right now. But you got KO'd by Punahele Soriano, a southpaw. You beat Urbina, who's awful. He's a terrible fighter, right? You beat Muslim Salikov. Granted, pretty good win. Muslim Salikov does KO some people. But in my humble opinion, I just don't see him. You lost to Mike Tybek Oroblai. I think your ceiling is just outside the rankings, right? Maybe on a good day you catch somebody who is 15 and you're like, okay, then now you could beat him. But you got 3 losses currently in the UFC. I think this is a big jump. It's a big jump up for Uros Medic. I just don't see him getting this one done. And then we have Dan motherfucking Ige, 50K Ige, coming in to fight once again. Dan Ige. Pull it up, chat. There we go. Versus Malik Wizel Costa. Same inches of reach, just different height. I think Dan Ige could find that chin, dude. Dan Ige's not done yet, dude. I just don't see him being done yet. You know what I mean? I just don't see him being done absolutely dirty. I just can't see that. You know, I just don't see it. So I'm not going to pick against Dan Ige here. I'm gonna pick Dan Ige, respectfully. Respectfully, dog. Respectfully, chat. Respectfully. Respectfully. So boom, that is a little bit of a preview that I have. You guys could drop in chat, or you could drop in the comments after this video is over. What fight are you most looking forward to for tomorrow for this event? I feel like not many people will talk about this event. I don't know why. This is a Sean Strickland, you know? Who doesn't want to watch Sean Strickland potentially get beat up or beat somebody up, right? Like that. This is fun. You know what I mean? So I will, be watching this fight. This is an interesting fight night card, right? And if we're looking at the next upcoming events, right? Like, the next, fight night might not be the best, right? Just might not be. This is in Mexico City, I believe. You got Marlon Vera versus David Martinez. I'm going to keep it a stat, guys. I've never heard of this guy. I've never heard of him. Am I bugging? Chat? Am I tweaking? Chat? I've never heard of David Martinez. I'm going to keep it a stat. I've never heard of him. Am I a casual, chat? Am I cash, chat? I don't know, Jim. I've never heard of him. Right? So this is, the Mexico City card. So you got a lot of Mexicans. And it's not maybe going to look like it's going to be the best card, but, we have some guys who, this guy's 1-0. And it's fighting in the, you see, this is what I'm saying, right? They don't have the studded star power. Like Daniel Selhuber is good, but is he really? Can he beat a Bobby Green? I don't know, Jim. Probably. He probably does beat Bobby Green, but like the talent level on this card is not even right. You're fighting Chris Moutinho's on the card. When Chris Moutinho's on a card, you just know it's not good comp, right? Like I'm gonna keep it a stat, guys. I have no idea who I'm gonna pick. I have no idea who I'm gonna pick for these fights. Wes Schultz versus I don't know who I'm gonna pick. Francis Marshall's fighting. Hey yo, chat. I like Francis Marshall, so I might pick him. Might pick Francis Marshall to get this one done, probably. But like even in the next couple fights, like who are these people? I've never heard of these people. Never have. I don't know. Like this card is just not stacking up. So the fact that people aren't checking out like this card that's this week, not this Mexico City card, and then you got Lorner Kavanaugh. Like he just lost to Charles Johnson by KO. And now you're fighting Brandon Moreno. Like I don't know, Jim. Maybe he can make it scrappy. I don't know, Jim. He's number 15 in the rankings, but like I don't know. I don't know. So the fact that people aren't really paying attention to this card is a bit like surprising to me. How do I go back? There we go. Events. Goodness gracious. There we go. But then UFC 326 chat. Now this is where it gets good. This is where Renato Moicano destroys Brian Ortega. It's gonna be crazy. Does Rob Font just absolutely break Raul Rosas Jr.? Maybe. I don't know, Jim. I might pick Rob Font to get this one done, chat. Not only is he Puerto Rican, but he just he has the better track record in my opinion. Bruno Ferreira versus Gregor Rodriguez. Didn't they fight? No, that was Hawes I'm thinking about. That was Phil Hawes I'm thinking about. Okay. I'm not going to lie, chat. I might pick Bruno Ferreira in this one, chat. I don't know, Jim. Could be something to look at, Jim. You got Cody Garbrandt. You got Ricky Tercios. Fuck. These prelims are awful. These prelims are god awful. Sumo Joarji, Jesus Aguilar. All right. Well, but the main card at least looks somewhat decent. Right? You got Kyle Bahayo versus Rainer de Ritter. Right? This is going to be a fantastic fight. I don't know who wins. I think Kyle might win. I might pick Kyle to get this one done. I think Rainer de Ritter can get pieced up by Kyle Bahayo a little bit. And Kyle Bahayo may not get caught, have decent cardio. It's only a 3-round fight. So I'll probably pick Kyle. And then you got Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. All right. The rematch. Fucking years in the making. I might go Max Holloway here. I like a Max Holloway pick here. I'm going to actually go Max Holloway in that case. But, neither here nor there. But here we go. Let's get back to the card coming up this week. So that is the preview for that card. I don't really have much else to say about this card. We'll see you guys Saturday night about this card. And that'll be pretty good. Let me pull something up here. And give me 1 second. I'm going to pull something up here because, Dan Hooker is, it's been some news. There's been some news to this his cheating allegations. And saying that there's a Twitter video where basically the alleged side chick. Okay, alleged. This is all alleged. I don't know if this is true at all. Alleged, right? But the alleged side chick is saying that Dan Hooker would cheat on his wife with her, allegedly. And she found out that Dan Hooker cheated on the side chick with a man. Now you see where this shit is crazy, right? Yo. So this is all legend. This is legend. I'm not claiming anything, Dan. I'm not claiming anything. But she's claiming that Dan Hooker is homosexual. That's what she's claiming. She's claiming that she saw texts to men on his phone. There's, text messages from his phone that look crazy. It's a legend. It's a legend. I don't know. I'm not saying he did or not. But it's a legend. Well then. Right? Like, MMA news is so funny, right? Because it's either like some fighter news or it's just the most crazy shit that you've ever seen, right? It's just something just crazy, right? So I'm going to lean on the side of caution here. I think it's alleged, but the text messages Dan Hooker don't look good. I'm just saying. Is she right or is she wrong? I don't know, Jim. But, the internet's already making assumptions. Okay? I don't know, Jim. Also, cheating on your wife? Crazy. Gonna put that out there. Crazy. Now, if they had an agreement to where that was okay, then it was okay. Morally speaking, from my perspective, I think that shit's repulsive. But, No, this is not a moral conversation. Dan Hooker. Okay. Oh gosh. I hope it's not true. But if it is, tough. Like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, there's not like what like who cares? Like, if he's gay, he's gay. You know what I mean? I can't hit on that. You know, it's just a crazy way that if it is true, if the alleged things that this lady was saying is true, it's a crazy way to come out. I'm just gonna say it. Crazy way. But that's gonna do for me, guys. I have nothing else to discuss about the UFC right now, and I will see you guys Saturday, maybe around that seven-ish time. I'll see you guys around. Take it easy, and peace out.